Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make Carne Asada Tortas as well as Spanish rice. So let's go ahead and get right into the ingredients that we're going to be needing today. For the meat, you're going to need beef flank steak. Any type of meat will work. This is preferred as far as meat. For seasonings, you're going to need Lard seasoning salt. I was able to find this meat seasoning, so it tastes very similar to a carne asada, like marinade that they give you like at the carne asada. I did find this at Fry's, near the meat area where they give you the meat. You're going to need garlic powder or garlic salt. You're going to need black pepper. For our rice, you're going to need any type of rice that you like. This one here is a long grain, just regular rice. I'm going to need chicken bouillon for the rice, a can of tomato sauce. For the beans, I'm actually using canned beans. So these Vista Pinto beans is what we're going to be using today for the tortas. I did go ahead and save some bacon grease. So I usually cook bacon in the morning, and I did save the grease to add into the pinto beans. If you don't have bacon grease, that's okay. You can also use regular lard. If you don't want to use any type of lard, you can just heat them up and smash them. I'm not quite sure how well they would stick together, but that's what I'll be using today. But I did want to show you that you can also use this one as well. I'll be using the bacon grease. You need vegetable oil or any type of cooking oil. You're also going to need bolillos. So they usually sell these individually or in a pack in your like local bakery. I got these at Fry's. So we got a pack of these. Then you're also going to need cheese, as well as lettuce, onion, tomato, and avocado. Okay, so once you have your meat cut up and it looks like this into pieces, we're going to go ahead and start adding in the marinade. Well, the mixture of seasonings. So what I like to do is add a little bit of oil to your meat. Go ahead and mix that around. So you just want to mix around the oil. Let it get a good coating. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and start adding in our seasonings. So I'm going to add a little bit of Lard's. Add a little bit of garlic powder. This says garlic salt, but it's actually garlic powder. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper. So black pepper. And then we're going to go ahead and add in our carne asada seasoning. Steak and meat seasoning. Okay. So it should look something like this. Go ahead and give it a mix. Okay. And then we're going to let this sit. You put some foil over it. Okay, so I went ahead and put foil over the meat. We're going to let that cook. Now we're going to go ahead and get our beans started. So we're going to take our beans. Okay, so I guess it wasn't recording the part where I did go ahead and add in the lard to the pan, which was my bacon grease. If you don't have bacon grease, you can use lard. You add that to the pan. Once it's hot, the grease, you're going to add in the beans. And that's where I'm at now. I've added in the beans here. So this can of beans, I added it in, all the juice as well. You want to make sure you add in the juice. And you're going to let it come to a boil. Okay? So leave it on about high, let it come to a boil. And we're just going to leave that there for a second. Okay guys, so while our beans are boiling, I'm going to let those sit on the back burner. I'm going to begin to cook the rice. What we're going to need for the rice is our vegetable oil. I'm using half a cup of rice, but most families do use 1 whole cup of rice. I would say use a whole cup if you are a larger family. It's just 2 people, so I'm using half a cup. And I'll show you the ratio that I use for half a cup of rice. I don't necessarily use specific measurements with any of my recipes, but I will put, of course, the ingredients in the description as well as estimated measurements that I've used. Obviously, it's not going to be exact. But let's go ahead and heat up our pan for our rice. I went ahead and put that on to heat up. I'm going to add in some oil just to coat the bottom of the pan. You don't want to add in too much oil. You don't need that much. So I'm just adding in that oil to coat the bottom of the pan. You can already tell that my pan is way too hot, so I'm going to go ahead and let it rest a little bit because I don't want the rice to burn. So let's go ahead and let's put the rice on, I'd say about 6 when you're cooking. And I'm going to go ahead and add in my rice. So we're going to add in the rice. I'm going to go ahead and let that fry. Okay, so we're going to let our rice fry, and just, you want to keep an eye on it. You want to keep on stirring it so that every single little rice, doesn't burn. That can happen really fast if it's too hot. So I'm just going to mix it around here. In the meantime, my beans are boiling. And what I'm going to go ahead and do to the beans is we're going to get a bean smasher. And we're going to smash those in a few. But for now, they're still boiling. And right now, I'm going to go ahead and add in some garlic powder. Okay, so we have the rice getting brown. We're going to go ahead and add in the tomato sauce. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add in half of tomato sauce. Be careful because this part is a little dangerous. So you're going to add in that tomato sauce and go ahead and coat everything. I'm going to put it away so you guys can see. Coat everything with tomato sauce. Okay. And then I like to go ahead and add in, so I used half a cup of rice. And I'm just going to go ahead and put water till it fills it up there. Like I said, it's not a specific amount. I know if you do 1 cup of rice, you do 2 cups of water, or 4 cups, however that goes, but I don't necessarily do it that way. So I add in the water, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in some pepper, some garlic, and I'm going to use half a cube of chicken bouillon. So half, and then just go ahead and spread it around there. Okay. So what you want to do once you put in the chicken bouillon is you want to go ahead and let that come to a boil. What I'm going to go ahead and do is switch the burners. Switch this pan to that burner, and this one here I'm going to go ahead and start smashing up our beans. Alright, so I went ahead and switched my beans. We're going to go ahead and start smashing them up. We have our rice in the back, and once it comes to a boil, we'll go ahead and put the lid on it. But for now, let the rice boil, and let's go ahead and take care of these beans. So just keep smashing them up. I'm making, obviously, tortas, so you want the beans to be spreadable, you know, nice and thick but runny, you know. So I like using the metal bean smasher. I feel like it works easier, but whatever you guys have, go ahead and smash up your beans. If you are using canned beans that you don't necessarily have to cook like this and they're already made, then you guys just skip this step and we'll get to our meat in just a second. The meat cooks really fast, so that's why I leave that for last. The beans and the rice is what takes the longest, so I want to knock those out. Once we're smashing them, you want to go ahead and turn down the heat as well. What the heat, boiling is doing is making the liquid evaporate. So the more that it boils, obviously the better. Okay, so I went ahead and smashed them up. They can still be smashed, but we'll keep smashing them as we go. We're going to let the rice come to a boil, and we're going to keep watching these, keep smashing them as we go. I want them to have less liquid, so we're going to let them continue to boil, okay? Alright, so the rice came to a boil, and I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on that, and you want to go ahead and put it on low and leave it for about 25 minutes. This is the way that the beans are looking. They're looking pretty good. Just want to continuously smash them up until they're at the consistency that you guys like. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and get our meat on the stove. Okay guys, it's time to go ahead and get our meat on the pan. You want to go ahead and get a pan and put it on high heat. I went ahead and also covered my beans. So you guys see that. So we went ahead and let the meat marinate for a little bit. Obviously, not hours or anything like that, but went ahead and marinated that. Once your pan is up really hot, which is getting there, we're going to go ahead and put the meat one by one on the pan. So I'm going to use tongs, and just going to go ahead and let it sizzle on there, one by one. Wait, let's show you guys. So, go ahead and let that cook. Like I said, this flank steak cooks really fast. Smells really good, you guys. Can't wait for the final result. Alright, you guys, I wanted to show you guys what the meat is looking like. gonna go ahead and turn it over. It's been cooking for about 5 minutes. Look at that. Look at how bomb that looks. Okay, just turn it down a little bit. Okay, so the meat's still cooking. I like my meat really like crispy. But it's gonna be on, as far as it's gonna be preference for you guys. So you can cook it, you know, to whatever you know, texture of meat you guys like. I know some people don't like it cooked, you know, all the way burnt or crispy, but really how you want it. So just keep turning them, you know, keep an eye on them. And beans are staying warm. That's the consistency that they ended up with. Our rice is still cooking. It's been about 15 minutes and it's still cooking. I'm not gonna open it because you don't open the rice lid. Let all the steam out. So let that cook. And yeah. While this meat is cooking, I'm going to start cutting up the lettuce, onion, and tomato. Okay guys, I just wanted to update you on the meat. I went ahead and sliced a few open to see if they were done, and like this one, and they're getting done. So, you know, obviously if they're not like pink inside, you know that they're almost done. So that's cooking. We still have a few that need to be cooked a little more. I wanted to update you on the rice. The rice is pretty much done here. What you can go ahead and do is turn it off. After about 25 minutes, turn it off and just let it sit there. And yeah, that's what everything's looking like. We're gonna cut everything up and we're gonna put it all together and do the taste test bite in just a minute. Okay guys, this is the final result of the meat. I went ahead and cut up a few. We're gonna assemble our torta in just a minute. You want to go ahead and start heating up your comal because we're gonna heat up our bolillos in just a second. I went ahead and mashed up some avocado, just mashed avocado. We got a little bit of my salsa left. Got the cheese, onion, tomato, and shredded lettuce. Okay, so you want to go ahead and grab your bolillo, and we're gonna cut it in half, long ways. Since we already heated up our comal, we're gonna take it to the comal. Usually people do put butter, but I realized that when I put butter, it burns to my comal. So I'm gonna go ahead and heat them up first, and then we'll go from there. So my comal is heated up. We're gonna push down on them so that they can heat up there. We're just gonna let the bun heat up. Okay, so this is the way that you want your buns to look. So just give the last heat. I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. I'm gonna serve me some rice. Just a little bit of rice there. Follow me. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and spread a little bit of avocado. And then I'm gonna put some beans on the bottom. So you just spread that. And it's not a specific order. You can do it on whatever order you want. But I'm just gonna do it this way. Then you're gonna grab some meat. And the meat is so tender. You could just tear it apart there. That's a little piece of that. So yeah, meat is nice and shreddable there. Okay. Let's get some. Okay, so you have your meat, your avocado. Now we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add some onion. Ready? Okay, so we're gonna add in some onions. I don't really like a lot of tomatoes, so I'm gonna do like half the tomato. And then some lettuce, cheese.
That looks bomb.
I'll put cheese here. And the salsa. We have to make more salsa, but I'm gonna grab a spoon. And just top it with some salsa. Okay. Looks so good. Can't wait to try. And just close it up.
Perfect.
And that's the torta. We're gonna go ahead and cut it in half. That's how it looks. Let's go ahead and taste it. So bomb. Rice is good. So, I hope you guys enjoyed me making carne asada tortas and my Spanish rice. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you guys.